G'day YouTubers, and thank you for tuning in to today's video on YouTube. Of course, it's another backyard gardening tour video. We've got some fresh lettuce seedlings in which I'm about to probably transplant them once the weather cools down a bit more because, hey, it is way too hot. Apparently, of course, it's another warm morning, of course, but then in the afternoon, it's going to get hotter and hotter and hotter, so that's why I'm going to straightforward take a very nice early morning trip towards... well, I wouldn't say early morning, but let's just say an early afternoon trip to Warsaw later on, obviously, I suppose say. But anyways, I am going to straightforward show you across my backyard garden. And if you remember in another video of where I've actually presented quite a lot somehow, I actually presented what looks like to be a male or a female, I think it's a female pumpkin flower. And I actually showed you on how to self-hand pollinate a female pumpkin flower. Once again, they will straightforward be open from around 6 AM to about 10 AM, of course. I think 10 AM is definitely the time in which they will start to close. Making sure, I think it's either in the same plant or in a different plant, obviously, I think. It has to be a pumpkin because obviously if it's... yes. Okay, yeah, it's actually quite nice seeing some pumpkins. I might probably grow something similar next year. Maybe butternut squash. I don't know, maybe as an alternative, I guess so, hey, and then they can return growing pumpkins again. That would be fantastic, wouldn't it? Or maybe I can just try a different variety of gourds. Maybe instead of pumpkins, I might try and plant butternut squash, which is something that I don't usually tend to use a lot in my culinary dishes and whatnot, although I don't do that much in the way of cooking. So anyways, yes, there's been some very good signs of the pumpkin, but there's also been some relatively bad, unfortunate signs of the pumpkins. Starting with this one here, that has been planted on a plant pot. Unfortunately, the first pumpkin attempt, it was probably caused by poor pollination, and from what really happened, there was another female pumpkin plant, I think. Yes, there was something very unfortunate with this beast. I think it had like... yeah, there was a female fruit plant that unfortunately it has... yeah, I think that there's a male or female plant. I think the actual fruit unfortunately broke. And this was actually caused by very poor pollinating. So I will have to straightforward... yes, rely on these ones. And I think maybe the best thing to do to keep these pumpkins nice and fresh and ripe at the same time is that I need to probably put something like a flat piece of wood which is clean. I do have quite a few bits of these, but I need to straightforward clean these guys out because obviously, hey, it's not really a good sign when you have that going on here. I'm off to straightforward start thinking about cleaning up stuff. And there's also this broken piece of... yeah, it's a very rusty trash can lid. Yeah, it's not looking good. I'm trying to find some, like, you know, very safe and very flat pieces, very clean pieces for the pumpkins to sit through because obviously, you know, if I want my pumpkins to really be ripe in a very clean and efficient way, well, I have to start thinking about, do you know what? I'm actually going to start cleaning these beasts for a bit. Okay, there's the lettuce and the cabbages. I think the cabbages are these... sort of, you know, they're sort of a bit faint greenish sort of colour, whereas the lettuces are a lot much more brighter. I can start transplanting these guys if I want to, but I'm going to go ahead and start washing up what looks like to be an old rustic piece of wood. But I just thought maybe I could probably leave it for another video's time, or maybe here's something a little bit better. I've got a tablet stand with me today. But I'm going to do that right over at this end part of the video because, hey, I don't want to straightforward I don't want to risk myself. Hey, can I waste some water now? I'll probably say no. Anyways, going up towards the nasturtiums, and yes, they have been dispersing quite a lot of seeds earlier than usual because, hey, I could tell you what, as a result of the hanging basket nasturtiums performing a little bit poorly than the ones I normally tend to grow on my backyard garden, I've got some potato seedlings, which unfortunately they're not going to really survive because guess what? You know what's missing? They're missing out the potato. So yes, you really need that potato tube for them to actually grow. There's the nasturtiums, which of course Again, the main problem I can start to see is that there's a lot of aphid activity and they are now straight for destroying it. So they were good at first glance, but unfortunately the aphid colony has decided to smother this plant down. Anyways, we've also got a calendula seedling, which has also been doing very, very well. And what's even more strange is that even though I've been recovering this plant so well on a vase or a vase with water and stuff, it seems like it's actually blossoming fairly well. And I'm actually going to deadhead this beast to prolong the periodic growth of flowering, although I think, hey, this flower is probably going to die out. And hello, I never thought you were going to be presented on video on YouTube. Okay, this is one of the neighbour's cats, who overall is straightforward frolicking around. I didn't think that this cat was going to be on my video on YouTube. It's certainly not my cat. It's certainly someone else's cat. Sorry about the tablet strap taking over the whole video. There you go. This is, of course, a nice black and white beauty. As you can see, there's also a bit of brown here as well too, because obviously that cat must have been out having fun in the sun. There it goes. Wonder what he or she is sniffing at, and there's your backside. Of course, it's going through an old piece of luggage. Probably out in the hunt looking for birds. Wonder what that cat is sniffing at. What are you sniffing at? Oh, bud. Oh yeah, and if you didn't even realise, hey, there's a lot of like old stuff that can also be used to sit my pumpkin nicely. I'm just gonna straightforward think about doing that later. Ain't that right, cat? And it looks like that cat is straightforward wagging its tail side to side. I mean, it's not like how dogs work, but then this cat straightforward knows where to go. I'm just straightforward following that cat to somewhere. Hopefully there's no music today, hey? I'm just hoping there isn't any signs of music, because if there are any signs of music, well then I need to straightforward cease production in videos like that. Careful, there's some thorny plants out there. You know how dangerous these plants are. And it looks like that this cat is roaming around across through the backyard garden as normal, I suppose. So there you go, dodging an attack from those nasty thorns. And look at that, bit of a scratcheroony, pretty much said. And I think this cat is about to take another wander in someone else's garden. Pretty nice. Goodbye there, little puss. Without ending with Y, because if I said it, I'll be demonetized. Yes, a very fine looking backyard garden. Now this is the neighbour's backyard garden. I mean, look how parched the grass has been. I haven't had that much adequate rainfall. I mean, last time so far it would have rained was on Thursday of last week, but I think it wasn't really good enough. So I'm off to probably wait until sometime this week and possibly the rest of this whole month to see how the rains are going to be like, because I can tell you what, there has not been a very good decent amount of rainfall so far this month, and also last month. You know, July and August. Is this drought really going to continue? I certainly bet it would, but let's just hope the thunderstorms can pretty much straightforward pay this one back and retaliate. Look how parched this is. Super desiccated. I mean, that is ridiculous. Looking at all of that grass, it's not really nice to look at. And I think I can really sincerely say that, of course, yes, I do love summer, but then when the grass becomes absolutely dry, it does present a nasty and gnarly surprise to summer. Anyways, let me just go ahead and show you all of the plants across my backyard garden. Of course, I did talk about the pumpkin seedlings across throughout my other videos on YouTube, which are very, very nice. It sounds like someone's using a pressure washer today, because obviously it is a nice day outside. Got a calendula planted in a pot. I bet it's going to perform very similar to the zinnias I planted. I'll tell you what, these calendulas are performing absolutely nicely, I suppose, hey? I've also got another potato, which has decided to plant itself by accident. Strange enough, I never thought that there was a small potato seedling growing like so. Yes, we've got lots and lots of tomato seedlings. Of course, I did water these earlier on in the morning today. What is that flower there? Is that supposed to be mint? Which has decided to attack and intertwine against a cornflower seedling. Very interesting, isn't it? And yes, I tell you what, there's a lot of like flies and bees around here, which is actually quite a very good thing. Let the flowers live as they are. I'll tell you what, I've got calendulas, even more calendulas. I'll tell you what, my backyard garden is a magnet for flower activity for bees, hoverflies, and other pollinators like wasps and butterflies. Very, very nice. As you can see, yes, I've got lots and lots of, like, you know, all of a sudden sunflowers. There's, of course, hoverflies, and there you go. One of the, is that a bee or is it something else? Oh, no insects on the pumpkin flower today. Sorry about that. But anyways, hey, as I'm looking around, yes, we've got the big female flower. That is, of course, straightforward. Starting to, you know, I think the one thing I need to try and do is to trim out these leaves. I need to trim out some leaves from that pumpkin so that, you know, this might also help establish the pumpkin, but also to, you know, expand the pumpkin in size without having to really flop over at different things. And as you can see, hey, this pumpkin vine is growing totally out of control, and I can also see that there is another female fruit being developed. And if I go relatively close, as sensible as this sounds, oops, have I just wrecked everything or anything in its path? No, because obviously I'm straightforward looking down to know that there is a pumpkin seedling, of course. Well, actually, there's a sunflower and there's another pumpkin seedling, and right tucked underneath is a calendula seedling. Quite interesting, isn't it? Nicely shaded, isn't it? Somehow that pumpkin seedling is now providing some sort of double-edged moment, I suppose, hey? Let me just go ahead and show you the pumpkin seedling. So there you go, there's the female. That there, obviously you can see the green round shaped thingy. Of course, that's where the fruit is going to be like. And I can also see there's another pumpkin being developed as well too. So that's somehow very nice to know. Hopefully after this stage, these pumpkin flowers are now going to straightforward. They're going to do some sort of process here. I will have to straightforward. Of course, there's some banana peels that I've just left outside because I want the hot sun to basically black these guys out so that, you know, it can be very good for fertilizer use along the way. So we've got more tomatoes, we've got more sunflowers as well too. I tell you what, my backyard garden is expanding exponentially. As I said in previous videos, it's going to be a giant summary of what I've got to really serve for today. I'll tell you what, I've actually got about 5 sunflower seedlings active today, and they're actually looking good. In fact, I could probably buy a 6th sunflower. I could probably start thinking about buying another sunflower plant, but I think it might be a bit too late because, you know, we're nearly one step towards autumn. There's another female pumpkin flower that's just been formulated. Again, I can start to see there's actually quite a few females starting to create themselves. They're starting to germinate. Actually, they're starting to form very nicely and immaculately at times, given of how much hard work I've done so far. And again, there's the cat. Here he is. Do you like my plants? Make sure you don't wreck everything, alright? And as you can see, this puss is straightforward having a bit of a wander around. I hope you're not wrecking my lettuces and cabbages. Then the only thing I need to look out for are some birds. I think the best way to try and avoid birds eating lettuces and cabbages is to put netting. I think that's a very good way to try and deter birds from eating crops like cabbages and lettuces. Obviously, I suppose they can be a real problem. I suppose I'm trying to really be very careful because this area is somehow very precarious. Oh man, I tell you, my backyard garden has got so many opportunities in so many ways. And let me just, whoa! I just nearly fell over and sunk myself to death, didn't I? Right, okay, so we've got another sunflower seedling. Like so, I tell you what, I've been growing like up to about 4 or 5 sunflower seedlings. Okay, yeah, so that's pretty much fine, hey? As you can see, we've got a nice big size calendula flower, and then there's also this sunflower, which I could have just straightforward said, hey, you know what, I could probably make into, like, you know, some fresh sunflower oil with these guys. There you go, that's the rest. Another cornflower batch is actually on the plant pot, of course. Sorry, that's actually a calendula. Why do I keep on calling them cornflowers? I just keep on misnaming things. But my crikey Charlies, look at this tomato seedling. It has actually grown quite well exponentially. I think these are just smaller cherry tomatoes, and thanks to the fertilizer that I've just added recently, these guys have been growing so well. And the more I start to think about adding as much fertilizer as I can, the more easily they start to grow so tall. And there you go, there's some of the little flowers, which have now turned into fruits. And hopefully, if we get enough warmth and heat throughout the rest of this whole summer, and let's just hope it doesn't stay persistently dry, let's just hope if we get enough sunshine and the right sort of temperature for these guys to start warming themselves up, it will be a perfect solution for what's to come. Okay, and there's the cat who has decided to roam around in places like that. I don't think the heat is going to very much last. I don't think it's that I don't think it's going to be that long lasting. I think it's only going to be just today and tomorrow. But hey, I could try and fill up some more of this, but I think it's only going to be just here under there for about 2 days. Hey, I don't think it's going to be that long lasting, because I know summer is actually on its knife edge to death point, and that's how it is, I'm afraid. You know, when summer has to come to an end, it has to be this way. Okay, there's another problem. As you can see, amongst the thistle, we can start to see some dry grass problems and anomalies going on here, eh? I'm really surprised, hey, that all of this dried grass is still there. Totally and utterly appalling conditions. Absolutely, abysmal conditions, and there's some very thorny plants around here, eh? There you go. I mean, just look how nasty and super gnarly this is. Okay, we've got more thorny plant activity, hey? I'm really surprised. I mean, hey, it's still growing, but I don't... Ow! Flipping out, that thing just attacked me. I could have just worn some flipping gloves. Right, I'm going to go get Mr. Shovel, who normally is very useful at smashing up knockoff toys. And there's the cat, who's, of course, straightforward. Yes, at least the sunshine has angled the dangle a bit, of course. Okay, I'm just go ahead and grab Mr. Shovel because I want to try and take out the nasty weed that is already, like, well, it's a nasty and gnarly looking spiky weed. Okay, yeah, so I need to try and find that damn plant and take the crap out of that thing, and I've just messed up the whole compost heap. That was very nasty of me. Okay, yes, so where was that damn spiky plant? Okay, it's time for an eradication plan. It's right over here. So it's that section there that I need to get rid of. Okie dokie. It's quite a very fiddly and diddly sort of work. I'm trying to eradicate this. Go on, Mr. Shovel. Kill it! Oh, yes. I normally tend to use Mr. Shovel for my dark side knockoff toy reviews. But most of the times when I'm not doing these types of videos and blah blah, I tend to do gardening acts like this. In fact, what I could try and do is... Oh man, look at the vegetation. It is just absolutely different. We've just hit another low level of rainfall. Absolutely very little at all times. I'm going to just straightforward stay in the tablet like so. Sorry, I don't know why I'm speaking in very loose English today. Ugh. I'm just trying to dig out... Sorry, I can't show it to you on camera, but I'm digging out a new hole because I've eradicated a nasty and gnarly plant today. And I might also look forward to plant some late seasonal cropped lettuce. Wouldn't that be great? I certainly think so. I'm trying to straightforward, you know, make the most of this summer until it vaporizes and dies in an instant, which is somehow a very good thing to do. I try and plant in areas in which maybe, let's just say, I'll try and find an area in which birds can't eat my lettuces and things like that, or I can even start transplanting some new bits of calendula. How about that, hey? I might try and do that by the next weekend, I guess. Maybe when my fertilizer tank is nice and full, I guess, I suppose. Hey, that'd be fantastic. In the way I can work out with my backyard garden. I suppose when hot weather arrives, it makes it very popular for me to go outside and do some other things other than just staying inside and doing some painting, doesn't it? There you go. I've just dug out quite a bit of a section here. I'm trying to extract areas. I'm trying to eradicate weeds and whatnot. So there you go. The nasty and gnarly plant has been eradicated. So there you go. Sorry about the tablet strap. That section there has now been eradicated. So why are these plants growing in my backyard garden is a complete excuse. Not just that, but it's a complete and utter waste of time seeing plants like that grow in an instant. But hey, do you know which plants I'll straight for a plant after this? Do you know what I'm going to use? I might as well go with calendulas, because calendulas are supremely one of the best plants to plant for. I tell you what, although it's been very hot and dry, in a similar fashion to 2022, I tell you what, my backyard garden has actually endured it so resiliently. So good. So far so good in so many ways that, hey, I've been doing my best. And I might as well just end the video here, eh? But there is one more particular thing that I need to do before I should probably, like, end the flipping video. And I just want to, I'll give you guys a sec. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and wash this wooden piece. Okay. Not sure what to really say now. I haven't got a sponge today, I'm afraid, but I'm going to use some washing up liquid, and I'm actually going to use maybe an old broom, if I can find one. Maybe an old broom head, I think. I'll be right back. I'm just going to grab something. Oh man, look at it, stuck. Crikey. Right, I am totally nutty back. So I found this old broom, and I just thought maybe I want to try and start washing off all the nasty and gnarliness that's found in that wood. Although that might probably be wrong, obviously. I'm going to go ahead and start washing. I don't know what I'm using it for, but I'm actually going to wash. I'm going to fill up some water. Okay. And I'm using this as a kneeling pad for my pumpkins. Because why am I using it so far in the first place? So I'm going to use this as a piece of washing equipment to wash my pumpkins. Okay, I've just added some washing up liquid. I might as well first wash the old bits of debris out from the bristles of the broom, which is quite relatively old. I'm just washing these guys out so that in order to prepare a very good cleanup, this is what I'm trying to do. I'm just cleaning up the crap out of the broom itself. So I'm just getting rid of all the nasties that are already stuck inside of this flipping thing. Yeah, as you can see, I'm trying to get rid of this yucky stuff around here, right? There you go, a lot of washing up liquid is already being applied. Oh yes. And guess what I'm going to apply it to? Oh, the bristles. I bet it's made from that cheap and nasty looking Chinese piece of crap. From that broom. I bet that broom has certainly aged so badly. I wonder, or I reckon at times, hey, you know, how much has been spent most of its time outdoors, being left abandoned somehow. I'm trying to be very careful of that thing because I don't want to damage the tablet. Hang on, I've got a better idea, hey? Maybe if I try and, that's a good place to stand this beautiful looking tablet of mine. Maybe around here, eh? Okay, I'm just going to straightforward clean up this beast. Okay, so I'm going to straightforward clean up this section right here, which of course is a lot of nasty gunk in that wood. Well, I'm trying to do a good thing. I'm trying to, like, you know, clean up this wooden piece, this wooden slab. I'm using this wooden slab to sit the pumpkin firmly, making sure it's not being overwhelmed. Of course, I want to try and make this thing come good. Obviously, it looks all dirty now, but I'm trying to, hopefully I don't get any splinters on my hands and fingers and flesh. But I'm trying to, you know, oh yes, there's some old pieces of wood here, right? They're all starting to break apart. Oh man, these delicate bits of wood, they're just going to break off in no time. But I'm just going to, you know, clean this guy up just because, you know, I need to use that for my pumpkin. I'm trying to wash this old wooden slab because I need to use that for my pumpkin. in order to ripen properly, and hopefully it should hopefully get the pumpkin to be in a cleaner spot. I just hope it really does, because I want the pumpkin to end up looking good without being too rotten. You know, I don't want the pumpkin, I might probably say, I don't want the pumpkin to get too rotten when it starts formulating itself. Maybe in a cleaner spot, like that. You know, I need to try and clean this guy out. Okay, how's it looking? Is it looking very clean enough? Yeah, I think it does. Still looks, I mean, a little bit dirty, but I think that should probably do it for today. Yes. Okie dokie, I'm going to pull out the dirty water like this, just like this, and I'm just going to manually put away the old brush, broom thing, onto the other side, and I might as well just, yeah, I'll be right back. Yes, I'm just going to just deter away some of the old bits of debris away. Out from this plastic pot that I've used. Or plastic bowl. Honestly, I've been using that. Oh, crikey's. What the hell am I thinking about? I didn't even realise I just left that damn wooden slab. Well, maybe I can use a brick tie. Maybe use an old brick. Could that work as well? I mean, anything should probably sit that pumpkin nice and ripe, I suppose. I could have just swept these pieces away to be thrown straight in the bin, but I'm going to leave the video here today, because hopefully, once this is done for today, hey, guess what? I'm going to go ahead and do other stuff, because I am totally not desperate to do other things, am I? Yes, indeed, ma'am. Right, I'm just going to go ahead and start putting the dam. I'm going to go ahead and put this old piece of wooden slab away. I'm going to probably put it to where the pumpkin is, so that hopefully, hey, by the time when this pumpkin gets ripe, it should probably keep it nicely formulated without getting too rotten. I dare say mainly around here will be a very good start. So hopefully once this pumpkin starts to ripen like mad, it should be very awesome. And there you go, I should probably leave it for today's video, because I can tell you what, hey, it has been quite an extraordinary tour, and luckily enough there's no copyright infringement music playing around in this video. So thank goodness for that. And I could tell you what, guys, hey, throughout the rest of August I'll be keeping in touch of my backyard garden, I'm sure, because hey, we've gone through quite a lot of changes, including the hedgerow, which has been transformed just a bit, like let's just say 1/4 of the dimension of, let's just say, this one here. Strange enough, it looks pretty sad when you see things like that, but who knows, I could probably reckon using that as, you know, spare parts could be very, very nice. I don't know, I'll just have to wait and see. So in that case, hey, everything all looks good. Oh yeah, I forgot about the potato seedlings. These ones there, I mean, they're hanging down, but they're actually doing good. So, yeah. Anyways, I'm going to leave the video right here. So if you really enjoyed in this backyard garden tour of all things, please give this video a very good like. Subscribe for more videos like that in the future. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and bye for now.